Hello everyone, and welcome to our Spider-Man Let's Play. We continue our web-slinging adventure with Up the Water Spout.
We are getting reports of a bus being taken hostage.
Police look like they could use some help.
Well, don't you worry, we'd be more than happy to assist in any way that we can, though. Now, of course, going to get those guys taken out of commission here, and then we're actually going to be pretty much web-swinging around just a little bit. Looks like we're about to have a little bit of company here, but I have a beautiful door, and as we all know, doors are more powerful than weapons, so obviously going to be picking up this mailbox as well. Don't you worry, bud. I'm going to have you hold on to that few moments, and then we're going to head all the way over to this gentleman, because he looks to be doing quite a bit of stuff at the moment.
There's probably more of them inside. You guys stay here. Somebody was in a hurry.
Spider-Man!
You're hurt.
I'm okay. But you gotta find Mr. Standish, fast. Those guys in the masks kidnapped him and forced him up to his place. He lives in the penthouse, top floor.
Okay, sit tight. So glad you're here. I can't find my car. Could have sworn I parked on this level.
Now, don't you worry, bud. I'm going to have you hold... Oops, actually not quite yet here. It looks like he was a little too tricky even for us, so obviously going to be trying to get over to this guy. We did kind of blind him for just a few moments, so I'm sure he's not a huge fan of that. But don't you worry, bud. I'm going to have you hold on to that cone. I don't want you going anywhere with it. Oop, actually, let's get away from that guy for just a brief moment here. But better yet, I actually have a pallet, and pallets are incredibly deadly, so a fantastic way to get rid of these guys, even though they've been some naughty boys as of recent. Now, it looks like we still have a little bit of extra action going on over here, but we're actually going to be heading right over to this gentleman. Great way to get him taken out of commission. And then also, we're going to try to pick this up, considering that we actually need to try to get rid of him, but he's been really powerful as of recent. However, that electrical box fuse over there is incredibly a great way to get rid of these inconvenient people. Now, it does look like we're still continuing to see quite a bit of action here. Now, we do have to be a little bit careful, considering that we'll quickly find that these guys are going to be pretty efficient. You know, they're not going to be too big into the whole sharing is caring mentality, so we got to be a little bit careful, especially as some of them are a little bit more powerful than others.
Wait, you guys work here too? This building is serious about parking enforcement.
Now, it does look like the muscle has arrived here, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful. Let's try to get that guy a little bit injured. I don't know if that was going to be enough to fully do enough damage to kind of get him away from us, but might be a great opportunity to maybe switch over to some extra arsenals here so we can try to get these guys away from us for a few moments, because I got a couple of these guys that could easily probably get stuck to a wall, and I think we'd be looking pretty good. That way we only have really one gentleman to worry about instead of several guys that are kind of trying to attack us all at the same time. Now, I do want these guys to try to come over here. I see that there's a beautiful car door, and as we know, car doors are a very good way to deal a little extra damage, especially when you're kind of needing a helping hand, so to speak. I want this door. Please let me have the door, and then that way, I'm going to do a little extra damage to get him off of my back.
Good fight. A for effort. Elevator won't work. They know I'm here. But maybe I can sneak up through the elevator shaft. Should be able to make it up to the penthouse from here.
These guys, I mean, you would think that they'd learn, you know, to try to stay a little bit further away from the door. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to be at the very end of the hallway, but standing right at the very edge, I think that's probably not the most intelligent thing they could be doing.
Okay, almost there. Stay out of the light.
Now we do have to be a little bit careful because it looks like we have an elevator that's actually moving around. I can actually hear it just a bit. Kind of a little bit spooky there for a few moments, but nevertheless going to take this guy out of commission. And then we're going to continue to work our way all the way up to the very tippy top here.
Careful. Tall building. Firebombs? Seriously? Move! Uh-oh! Not good. There's Standish.
Okay, now what?
Enter your password.
Alright, so it does look like there's quite a bit of muscle here. This is going to be one of those things that we're going to have to be pretty smart about how we go about this. There is definitely a stealthy way to go about it, but there's also a way that may not work out too great if we're not very smart about how we go about taking these guys and webbing them up to higher areas. So far, we're starting things off pretty strong, so not really seeing too many difficulties just yet, but it's going to be in our best interest to try to stay on top of this, so that way we're not going to be exposing ourselves to new angles that are not going to be too beneficial for ourselves. Now we have a couple more gentlemen all the way over here. Now I'm curious to see if this guy's going to come over and say hello. This might be a great time to get him hung up here. I was really hoping that the other guy wasn't going to see anything, and it looks like we kind of were pretty lucky on that one. It could have been one of those cases where if he would have got a little more overzealous, he could have actually probably saw that his buddy disappeared. Now we really need this guy to move a little bit closer, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky. It does look like we have a gentleman that's kind of curious about everything going on over here, so we may need to try to get this guy taken out of commission. He is very interested in something, but as of the moment, we're going to try to get that taken down, see if we can't move around a little bit further. Now, once again, a couple more gentlemen that are interested in kind of everything going on, but they have not quite identified as to exactly what's going on. However, reinforcements have arrived, so that does make this really tricky for trying to take out this gentleman. Now, as we have a couple of guys with some muscle over here, I don't know if we're going to be able to take this guy out in the traditional way of stringing him up, but it actually, to my surprise, it's going to allow us to get this big old gentleman strung all the way up to the very top. However, unfortunately, these guys are relatively close to each other, so this makes it pretty challenging. Let's see if we can't actually move over to the other side. We may need to reevaluate this a little bit further and see if we can't try to get some of these guys to be maybe a little bit more loose with how they move around this area. Unfortunately, I don't think that worked out in the way that we were hoping, unfortunately. I was really hoping to try to do this as stealthy as possible, but nevertheless, things did not quite work out like we had hoped. So now we actually got to get a little bit more crazy with things and try to take these guys out without trying to alert any new individuals, but I think we're going to quickly find that there might be some new adventures that might be showing itself.
Okay, all clear. Hope Standish is all right.
I was going to say, do you know how funny that would have been if I could have literally just stuck that dude right to the wall right away? It's not fair. This dude has a sword. I'm trying to get him as quickly as I can, but I mean, it gets to be a little tricky when he has such extra mobility that we don't have access to. But unfortunately for these guys, the minions are not nearly as dangerous as the one guy, so if we can take them out, it gives us a little extra flexibility to kind of move around the area just a little bit.
Let's try this again. It's safe now. What were they after?
Just financial records.
About Devil's Breath?
How do you know about that?
Why do they want it?
I don't even know what it is. Mr. Osborn's been pouring money into it for years, but he keeps the whole project a secret. I'm the only one who has any record of it.
Not anymore. Looks like they copied some records to a secure server. Payroll information. On a Dr. Isaac Delaney. Who is he?
I honestly don't know.
Down!
Come on, come on!
Wait, the elevator! Hold on! Almost got him! Try to fall slower! Gotcha! You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Good. You know, as elevator shafts go, this is pretty nice. Hey, Yuri.
You okay?
Yeah, but I didn't get much out of Standish before these Sable guys stepped in and told me to back off. What's the deal?
I get the sense all they care about is keeping him quiet.
Because he knows about Devil's Breath.
Right. Whatever the hell that is.
I'm working on that. I think I just got a lead.
A lead? You sound like a cop.
Don't you mean... Spider Cop? Yuri? That's fair.